Alright, so we are live for the first time in a while, so hopefully this goes well. It was a little bit different setup than in previous league we'd done, but we're streaming some standard tonight. One of the changes I wanted to make with the kind of new direction the channel is going is kind of opening up the formats and different things we'll be doing. One of the things we'll be doing today is the standard metagame challenge, so this could either be a really short stream or a really long stream, kind of hard to tell. Basically, this is a elimination, one loss elimination, and up to 7 wins. Get 7 wins, you get 5,000 gold and 30 packs, which is obviously kind of absurd. The deck we are going to be playing today is kind of the standard Rakdos Knights list that's been running around since Throne of Eldraine. No notable upgrades so far in the new format. But this deck has had a fairly decent win percentage, both for us on the standard MTG channel that will kind of cease to get content for right now. Standard Nexus MTG, if you want to check that out, that video should be uploaded a little bit later. But basically, your standard Knights Tribal with some non-Knight synergies with Rotting Regisaur and Embercleave here, kind of as your twin combo finish. Beyond that, you're using things like Gutterbones and Bonecrusher Giant as utility creatures. Gutterbones allows you to have a resilient threat that is an aggressive 2-powered 1-drop, along with Fervent Champion and Knight, which obviously contribute to our Knight synergy, but also getting a lot of pressure on the battlefield. Backing that up is Stormfist Crusader, which gives both players draws during your upkeep, but also deals each player a loss of life. Oftentimes you can close out the game before the extra card advantage your opponent's accruing is relevant. And then Blacklance Paragon is an interesting creature. And basically this is a 3/1 flash creature. Whenever it comes into play, target creature gains Death Touch and Lifelink. Especially when your opponent goes to block, say, a Fervent Champion, you can first strike with Death Touch, kill their creature. And then beyond that, Murderous Rider is a knight that plays both a Hero's Downfall-esque effect, as well as being a 2/3 knight itself. And then Rotting Regi here is a 7/6 with the downside of discarding cards, but if you're drawing things with Stormfist Crusader or happen to have an Embercleave, close out the game pretty quickly. Or if it's the last card you're developing from your hand, not too bad. And then Drillbit here, kind of a pseudo Thoughtseize effect. Sometimes it can be paid for 3, but a lot of times your best starts are like 1-drop into another 1-drop attack, and then kind of take your opponent's best card away. And then beyond that, you've got your mana base here to support the 2 colors, 1 copy Castle Locthwain for kind of longer games. And Tournament Grounds, obviously very nice in a Knight synergy deck. Sideboard, Epic Downfall here, pretty good against a lot of the more powerful creatures in the format. Very good against the Simic ramp deck, very good against a lot of the Gruul decks, etc. Legion's End, kind of the difference of Epic Downfall. This one's 2 or less, Epic Downfall's 3 or more. This can take out multiple copies of things. Anything from Hero of Precinct 1 to any type of mana dorks your opponent might be running. So interesting card split on this, and then Noxious Grasp can take out green planeswalkers, which are the primary threats, and then white planeswalkers, things like Teferi, etc. Embereth Shieldbreaker. This is kind of a split card. It's a 2/1 threat for 2, which not great, but it does also have the ability to destroy artifacts, which would be relevant against, mirroring Embercleaves or Oven, etc. Sorcerous Spyglass. Another utility card you can use to shut down problematic planeswalkers like Nissa, or also can shut down things like Oven. Spawn of Mayhem is kind of when you need another bigger threat, and maybe Regi is too much of a downside, or you just need more beef in the matchup. And Cavalier of Night is kind of a little bit bigger. This is a split card removal spell and a little bit of a grind tool in certain matchups. Sometimes it's just nice to have another removal spell in the body, much like Murderous Rider here. And does have the powerful ability of getting a 3-drop back whenever it dies. So that is the deck we're going to be taking into the challenge, and hoping we have a little bit of a longer run than, one and done. So that hop into the challenge. So one of the things with the channel is you'll probably be seeing more aggressive deck content. So obviously, previously we've been playing a lot of Burn, playing some Eldrazi Tron. You might be seeing some more. I think this hand's good enough on the play. On the draw, we probably would want to one drop, but I think here it's fine. This is one our opponent's up to. Alright, so looks like we're up against the ramp deck. So we want to apply as much pressure as possible here. You know what I really didn't want to draw? Another copy of Embercleave, because that just seems bad. So going to 20. Don't think we quite have lethal here. There's obviously a lot of damage. Alright. Can you beat Splinter Twin? I think you're dead, my friend. Well, you beat 3 different ways. So, against their deck, we probably want Epic Downfall. Probably want Noxious Grasp. Beyond that, Cavalier could be alright. Spawn could be alright. I think we shave Reggie and an Embercleave on the draw here. And beyond that, maybe a copy of Drill Bit. Bonecrusher honestly doesn't kill a whole lot in their deck. A lot of their deck is either 0-3s or 5-6s, so it's kind of unlikely that you're going to get through consistently. I think we lead on Gutterbones here, although there is a chance that it could, run into the 0-3 and just kind of peter out. But I think Knight of the Ebon Legion is going to do something similar, so we just go. Could go 1-drop, 1-drop, 1-drop. Could also go. So they've got the anti-aggro package in, so I guess I lead on the one that just doesn't value that. Boreal Grazer. Okay, so I have a really good draw. Doesn't look like they have any more lands in hand, though. Actually, I think since our opponent is so low on resources, I don't think I actually want to engage them in combat the way they want to engage. Alright, Risen Reef, sure. Hopefully they... So it would be nice if they missed a land drop here. So what am I supposed to do here? Am I supposed to play... just attack... And obviously we block first. again, we could deploy Raji here. He does outscale most of their guys. See how our opponent chooses to block. So I could just pump this to kill it. Alright. He left Asian treachery in. Interesting. That's kind of awkward. So I really don't want to play Reggie out in the face of So they put back on top, Agent. Sure. Obviously don't like getting into a long, protracted battle with Ramp, but it is interesting nonetheless. So, Citrus, how are you doing? So, Regisaur or... I'm doing alright. Standard is... It's nice in small doses. I think I enjoy Standard when there's actually a playable aggressive deck, and there's a couple of them, but they're very combo-oriented with Embercleave, so... Okay. Feels like a Nissa. Yep.
Witness the ties that bind us all.
This feels like a finale of Devastation.
The land shall conquer you.
Yep. See what you're gonna go get before I can see here. It just took a little too long to develop. Drill bit, Reggie, and Cleave back in. Yeah, there's been a red deck making a little bit of a splash. I think the problem with the red deck in Standard has been just the severe lack of actually playable burn spells, other than Skewer and stuff. Actually have to look up the GTA zone. Seems fine. We got 1-drop and a 2-drop with a removal spell. So. And then Reggie's if we happen to hit land drops. So. The deck doesn't usually have any plays until turn. Well, I guess they have Arboreal Grazer, which is annoying. Let's do that. Do this. That's just going to block, which is fine. Alright, so... Wow, shocking in here. Kindred, sure. Sorcery. Do they double block? No, they just take the... So the opponent could certainly have a Cavalier of Thorns next turn, which would be the most annoying. A bunch of... That's a pretty good one. Are they leaving up Return to Nature? Feels like this is a Return to Nature turn. Well, if you have Return to Nature, props to you. I don't think you do, though. Splinter Twin strikes again. Let's take a look at the... Because even the mono red deck is like Embercleave-esque. Export. Yeah, because the mono red deck is like Fervent Champion, Scorch Spitter, Tin Street Dodger, Infuriates, Robber the Rich, Steamkin, then Phoenix of Ash, Light Up the Stage, and then Embercleave. So it's kind of a lower to the ground red aggro deck. And then Sideboard has like Claim the Firstborn, Red Cat Melee, Unchained Berserker, Chandra, and Experimental Frenzy. I'm not sure the numbers are on this list are right, but this is an example of the mono red decks that have been doing well. That's good, Philippe, sorry. Yeah, that's only match number 1, unfortunately for us, so... challenge. Got a long way to go here, hopefully. Did you use the more aggressive version, or did you use the Adventures build? So with a 43% chance to draw a second land, 2 draw steps to do it. Do we keep this hand? This is another hand that it snowballs very well if Stormfist lives. So I think the upside, especially on the draw, is worth it. But once again, actually, if we're playing a mirror, this could be a little... We're playing against the Oven deck. This is not a good matchup for the aggro decks. In fact, we're like their primary food source, no pun intended. Gotcha. What kind of decks did you run into? Don't really want to be force-feeding our opponent cards here, but at the same time, we need to hit land drops. So... Whoa, Strider, that's a little rough. That was a mistake on my part. I needed to play the red source, the actual red source. You have Murderous Rider, you have Murderous Rider, but I don't think you do. And Devil's cute. Ooh, that's rough. And they get to sack it. Delightful. And the Firstborn is just such a rough card. Hit the Hiss for 7, shoot our guy. It's just all kinds of bad. I'm like killing our own guy just for getting taken here. Get some idea of what else they're working with, although I have a pretty good idea of what their list is. Smotty. Yeah, they're the more aggressive. Red-black sacrifice deck. It's a mirror match, but they're the grindier of the decks. So Reggie and Cleave are not particularly great in this matchup. Could bring in Spyglass, but I think we want to focus on removal and then shield breakers, perhaps. Down one copy of Blacklance, because Lance isn't particularly fantastic. Bonecrusher kills some of the relevant creatures, but not all of them. Maybe we don't need all the copies of Drill Bits. I think I want to get the spawns into the deck, mainly because they can't get hit by Claim to the Firstborn. Try like this. Hand's a little bit land heavy, but has some decent early pressure, barring Cat and Evan. Let's hold up Bonecrusher Giant here. If I claim the firstborn target for them, I guess. Lost Rakdos aggro. What kind of control decks did you run into, Philippe? Did you run into Blue-White, Dimir, Esper? I guess Grixis even? Is there anything you want to change on the play? Once again, not a huge fan of Reggie in a matchup with Claim the Firstborn. Embercleave's a great weapon, don't get me wrong, but these grindy kind of aggro mirrors are not the matchups for them. And then beyond that, we have all of our relevant removal. Noxious Grasp obviously doesn't hit anything in their deck. Discard spells can be terrible top decks, so... This hand isn't great, but it's reasonable enough. Turns Rotting Dino into cookies. Indeed. Didn't you like the red-black sacrifice deck there, bro? That's a lot of weapons. Bonecrusher Giants mostly probably don't face. Alright, well, I mean... I think I'm glad to get this off the board at the price of... Wow! Why wouldn't they sacrifice there? Okay. What kind of bomb do you have here? Go figure. I'll claim the firstborn. Shocker! Well, that's only 4 toughness, huh? How lucky for us. Still don't understand why they're not blocking with the goat. Oh, because I sacrificed, they're going to get to kill the... Never mind, they screwed up. Wow. Do not look a gift horse in the mouth, laddies. That was definitely some sloppy play. Which is nice. Keep this hand even though we're missing. Gutter me bones. Alright, so Oath of Kaya, Birth of Meletus, Golden Globe, Omen of the Sea, and Doom Foretold. Which card is more annoying? Breath of Meletus slows us down the most. That is Esper Doom Foretold. You want to take your entire next turn to Indeed. Okay.
This isn't a fight you can win. I've got it.
Okay, so they either have another Teferi or they just realized it wasn't doing anything this turn. No, so you're gonna live another turn. Great. Yep, your Doom Foretold helped trigger my guy. That is correct. Dance of the Manse would be very unfortunate. Oh, that was a fun game. Alright, so do we even have anything for this matchup? Well, considering that's about a 2.5-hour project, Space Marine, I don't know yet. So we bring in the Spawn of Mayhem and maybe Sorcerous Spyglass, though I feel that's kind of dubious. Put down these Bonecrushers. Do have artifacts, but none that really seem particularly relevant. Most of their powerful stuff is enchantments. So Curiosity Kill the Cat 4. I think I'm supposed to deploy Reggie. We're not beating Wrath with this hand anyway. So if they have Kaya's Wrath, the game is just over. Or Shatter the Sky, or got lucky to steal one on the play there. To answer your question, Space Marine, if you're still in chat, it will either be tomorrow night into Sunday sometime or Tuesday night, but more likely tomorrow night into Sunday sometime. I'm not sure when. Is there any other plays we can make? Like, I don't know. They could have up to 8 sweepers in their deck for 4 mana. So I don't think we can keep this hand. Do I keep this hand? That's already a mulligan here, basically. This hand's a little bit better. I'll back that. Well, whether it's acceptable or not, I'm kind of doing it out of the grace of... this card is annoying. Can't beat the Wrath. They get an 0-4 and a wall. Rough. Rough, rough, rough. Nope. I told you I did not have automatic donation set up, so... And I have paused all donations for at least February, probably beyond on Patreon. So... That decree is a little unfortunate, but... Left 2 cards on top, that feels good, right? Yep. Oh no, I told you I'll play it. That's not really a problem. So they get a 2-2. We're just very, very far behind here. This is a stone cold bluff. Doom Foretold, obviously annoying. Holy crap, we might actually get there. Hopefully. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. That's a whammy. Hmm. Alright, so that doesn't draw you anything. That's annoying. So many extra looks of crap. Alright. I do still have Embercleave in my deck, right? Dance of the Manse, really? Oh. Frustrating, but like what else? Um, hmm. Not really sure what else we could have done in that situation. Like, was there any way to have closed out the game or have dealt the extra damage that we didn't find the line? I don't think so. Hmm. I don't know. Felt like we were lucky to escape the red-black sacrifice thing, and then running in a Dance of the Manse just felt a little rough. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Definitely have to go back and rewatch some of those matches. Felt like maybe there was something we could have done. Felt like we were really, really close a couple turns there, just ending the game, and then they just see that many cards is really, really tough to beat. So we got a little bit lucky to fight through that one Doom Foretold with Gutterbones going there. But that said, unfortunately, we'll be calling this stream to an end. So I have to get up for work in the morning. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Huge thanks to everybody who's supporting the channel through some of the changes and stuff here. Standard won't be a huge part of the channel, but it is something that will be popping up now and then whenever there's bigger events or when I'm doing more work with that. I will be focusing still primarily on Modern and Pioneer, but we are going to work some Standard and Historic content into the rotation. So probably going to be an emphasis on that aggro decks. We'll still be doing other decks on occasion, but once again, this is kind of me deciding what I want to play for once, and kind of so we'll be playing some different stuff than maybe we'd been doing before. But anyways, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This has been John for MTG Nexus. Hope everybody has a great day.